Hey y'all, Toad here. We're inside the Airstream, and as you can see, it's a twin bunk model. This bed being slightly larger, the street side one being slightly larger than the curbside one. And what I've decided to do is I'm going to enlarge the the street side bunk by just a few inches, and use that as my primary bunk. And I'm going to remove, this one here you can see it's propped up. I'm going to remove this bunk completely. And the plan right now is to kind of turn this into an office, computer, ham radio, bookshelf, library kind of place. So let's just get started and see where this goes. Alright, well, got all the pieces out. You can see the that is the fender well right there for the tandem axles, and that there is one of the access hatches to the outside. And well, you can see, grime, years of grime. There's a little crack right there in the plastic that I'll have to fix. I'll probably just tape it on the inside here, and then when I have both tires off, I'll put some fiberglass, resin and fiberglass on the other side, more than likely. Now, a lot of people are going to ask, why did I do it on this side when I could have done it on the street side and not had to deal with some of this stuff? Well, it's just the way I wanted to do it. It'll probably become apparent later. This big bump out right here is the back of the stove, and I wanted that to be part of this. And the way the house is going to be oriented, the trailer is going to be oriented, I'd rather be sitting at this window. And no, I don't mind the floor being a little higher. As you can see right here, this ductwork is for the quote-unquote central heating system. Really, all it does, the furnace is forward underneath the, in the galley, and then comes back here, and there's several ducts that come out along the way. And as you can see, those are the water lines that go to the sink, and of course the main gray water line, which any floor will have to be above that, which looks to me about 6 or 7 inches above the actual floor level. And yeah, I saw that, so I got to check into it. Probably gonna end this video here and think about what I want to do next and how I want to do it, because I'm obviously going to want to clean up and do a little bit of repair to the ductwork. You can see the duct tape is actually a little funky there. Hey, that tape was put on by somebody who's at least 60 years old right now. It's been there for a while, and that right there bothers me. I'm not sure how that happened. Normally I'd think, well, the way it curves up over the duct all those years, the trailer bouncing, maybe it wore a hole in it, and this is the people's solution. But I know for a fact this trailer sat from 1974 to about 2007 and never moved. So I don't think it's an abrasion, but I got to check that out. And one of the possibilities, one of the reasons I'm going to probably quit here for a little while is, I got to clean this all up, because you can tell, again, all the dust and dirt and whatnot. But I'm considering replacing a lot of this copper with PEX. And this might be a good time to do at least this section of it. Either that, or I'm definitely going to get a small piece of copper and fittings and whatnot and replace that. Whatever this is. I guess it's just a piece of hose. I don't feel anything in between, so I don't know if that was done at the factory. I'd like to think not. Maybe it was a frozen line that somebody cut and fixed that way. I don't know. But either way, this is the beginning of this part of a project. And, I'll move along before I post it. Not enough interest here to make a video out of this. But we'll see what happens the next time, the next scene that comes up. Okay, here we are in what's going to be the office spot, and amongst the first things I got to do is deal with this waistline and with these water lines. Now I want to maintain the angle of this so it'll drain properly, but I got to see about getting that clean out over there, moving the entire thing away from the wheel well because I want to place a piece of supportive plywood there, and lowering it down as much as I can while still maintaining the drain angle, because this is kind of what's going to set the height of the first step up from here where you walk through the trailer into this office area. So let's get started. Okay, well now I see if we can show you this. You can see the gap in between the water line and the ductwork. Excuse me, the ductwork and the fender, the inner fender. This is where we're going to put our piece of plywood, and we're going to figure out how to use that opening in the ductwork to maybe bring it out over here. But just got to figure out these little things. But we got that done. We kept the clean out. This is going to look a little Rube Goldberg over here, but a couple reasons we did it this way. This isn't going to make any plumbers happy. I don't know how well you can see in there. But right here is where, it goes up over that way and then back. And we formed it this way because we wanted to keep that clean out. And we didn't want to clean out under the floor back over here. So it cost me a little bit of under counter space. And that we can live with that. And plus, quite frankly, I just don't know how long this under counter area is pretty bad. I haven't spent a bunch of time evaluating it, but it's possible that this whole area will get changed around. We'll have to wait and see, but for now, that little bit of plumbing there and getting it cleaned up in the future office area, we're pretty much where we want to be. Alright, let's move on. Hey y'all, Toad here. Well, as you can see, we're getting along with the little office build here. Got the, I don't know how much the light's messing that up, but the wall has gotten pretty clean. Done a couple of cleanings, going to do a couple more. I had actually thought about painting this, but that's going to be on hold. Probably going to paint the window trim, but even that, once the curtains get on there, once everything is built, a lot of this wall is not going to even show. So I'm gonna hold off on the painting. But what we got down here, this piece here is going to be there, and it's going to go up against this heating duct, and this piece here is the shelf that'll sit right there. Give you an idea. And I've already got the part that covers the wheel well done, and yeah, anybody who does cabinet work is going to be a little horrified at the way I did this with the screws, but one thing about working on a trailer is you got to be able to take it apart. God forbid if something goes wrong, especially down here where the water lines, the waistline, and the heater duct are. You got to be able to take the stuff out with simple tools. So basically what I did is I reused the stock aluminum channel here and used a Forstner bit and basically screwed right down to it. And then here, I don't know if you can see them in the camera, there's some short pieces of aluminum channel, again, that I salvaged from when I took this whole area apart. And they are screwed from this direction into this facing piece and then screwed down, again countersunk with a Forstner bit. So that's tight as a rock. And if I ever have to take this apart, or when, stuff is inevitable, I'll be able to do that with just hand tools without destroying all the pieces. But I've gotten to a point now, show you underneath here. Oh, sounded a little out of breath. It's because I was running around doing something else. These water lines, it's kind of stupid the way they did it. You can see they come out right there, and then they cross over the duct and go here, which goes into underneath a closet and then into the head. And I'm gonna correct that. I don't think that's such a hot idea. So what I'm gonna do is remove this section right here, and I'm gonna move the water lines over behind the waistline, and it'll follow the waistline. Will actually be next to, be like right here in the waistline, and follow it over. And that requires a little bit of messing around under the sink, but I'm planning on replacing most of this with PEX line as we go anyway. But that will allow this piece here to go right up against, or very close to. There'll be a small bit of foam between the duct and the bulkhead there, the one I'm building, just for vibration reasons. And then of course this shelf sitting on top right here will come down sitting on these pieces of aluminum again, which were salvaged from the original bed that was here. And I'll screw it all down in the same fashion. But because there's going to be a desk in this area, there's going to be some seating here. And I have not yet decided what kind of seating that's going to be. I've been thinking about mounting a office chair, kind of boat style swivel chair, maybe making a bench with some storage in it. Just don't know yet. So I'm off to look around, see what's out there, see what I can afford, and see what'll work. So when I get there and get this waterline stuff done, we'll be back.